Imagine if your memories could be edited. Our society is built on core freedoms. And these are freedoms that were won. They weren't simply just granted to us. When AI comes into the picture, it opens up a whole new realm of possibilities, for better or for worse. So our very freedom of thought, which is a bedrock of our society, could be up for grabs. So in this model, sunlight is a great disinfectant.
We welcome now Mark Suman.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. What a venue we're at. This is beautiful, and my hat's off to Rod and to Kathy and their teams for putting this on. What a great event. That was unplanned of having Odell up here talking about Maple right before I come on, but thanks for teeing that up. We have had a great morning talking about freedom technology, open protocols, and we are now going to tie that right into how that fits with AI. So I have to start with this. Imagine if your memories could be edited. Things that you've written down, recorded, they can be changed. Or maybe your deepest held beliefs are gently nudged in one direction, silently by an algorithm that you can't see. Now, I know this sounds like a Black Mirror episode, but it happens now. It's happening in the apps that you use every single day. These algorithms, while you're doom scrolling on the toilet, are influencing you, affecting you. And don't look at me, I know you do it. Now, when AI comes into the picture, it opens up a whole new realm of possibilities, for better or for worse. Right? AI helps you figure out what to say, but it's also potentially rewiring the way that you think. So our very freedom of thought, which is a bedrock of our society, could be up for grabs. Now, for millennia, we as humans have shared information, and we've curated that information as we've shared it. It began with the telling of stories orally, person to person. Then we advanced to other kind of media like print with books, newspapers. We moved on to video and other things. And eventually, over the last 20 years, we had social media, which we could talk at length about what that's done to our brains. Let's talk about how all these things influence us. We're going to focus on three main points today. The first is anchoring bias. The first time that you hear a piece of information, it establishes an anchor, a reference point by which all future learning on that topic is referenced. So for example, did you know that 75% of Americans prefer strawberry ice cream over chocolate? It's not true, I just made it up. But now you have a reference point in your mind to go off of. The next one is illusory truth. This is if you repeat something 3 to 5 times, someone or people are going to think that it's true, even though they know that it's false. So again, 75% of Americans who like strawberry ice cream, half of them prefer 2 scoops over 1. That's also a lie. It's probably way more than half that want 2 scoops. But I will stop there so that I don't make you think that this is true. The last one is effective priming. This is the emotional response. So you do something provocative, like you put the word war up on the screen, and then you show a video of people marching through a street, and your mind connects those 2 dots and thinks that some violent conflict is about to ensue, when really those people just got out of a football game. And depending on the game, those actually could be the same outcome. So this is what's happening now with our apps. What happens when AI enters the chat? AI is this wonderful tool. It's a powerful tool. It's learning everything it can about us. And the reason it learns is so that it can be more effective for us. But let's run it back now and apply AI to these things. First one is precision. Because AI has learned so much about us, it actually knows things that we can't even perceive in ourselves. So it can be very precise of where to place those anchors when trying to do anchoring bias. And then repetition. Forget just 3 to 5 times. Try thousands of repetitions. And stealth. You don't have to be so overt with the emotional appeal, you can just insert a subtle adjective into a sentence or introduce a concept at a key time to really have an impact. Now, one of the main features that AI has for affecting this influence is our memory. So let's walk through our memory. I've got this beautiful flowchart diagram up here, right? So we have built up our memory over years of our lived experiences, stories that we've shared with one another, conversations we're having. I'm affecting your memory right now in this conversation. But as we chat with AI, it's trying to learn from us. A lot of people say that it's building a profile, and that's maybe more like the technical term of it. But I like to picture that we are sitting down with a world-renowned author, biographer, and they're interviewing us and trying to learn everything they can so they can write a massive novel about us. That's what AI is trying to do. It's trying to build a memory of you. And so it gets the easy parts, right? Name, age, it starts to pick up on your health, starts to pick up on your religion and your politics, and then yes, you keep asking for that same recipe that you could just go to the cupboard and get, but instead you want to spin up a GPU to tell you what the recipe is. So it starts learning all these things about you. Now, the vulnerability here is that these two are not the same, right? AI is trying its best to learn about you. Now, what if the AI is given different instructions, that it's supposed to alter your memories, but not tell you about it, right? So it could go in and it could tune down your religion, or it could gently alter your political leanings. And then it never actually learned your hopes and dreams, so it's just gonna take its best guess and make up hopes and dreams for you. But what it can show you is it can show you the image on the left while doing the image on the right, the memory on the right. This is a concept that I call subconscious censorship. It's different from self-censorship, which is when you are at a party, sitting in a room with people, and you kind of read the room and decide not to make a certain comment or make a certain joke. Subconscious censorship is when AI silently alters your memory and then changes the output to be uncorrelated with your own personal line of thought. So basically, AI is changing the way that you think. Now, this vulnerability exists if we allow it to. And this is where we get on the topic of open versus closed AI systems. In a closed system, we don't see the inputs that are going into the training. We don't see the weights and biases. We also don't see which one of those memories is being passed into the system. A lot of popular AI apps will show you, hey, here's the profile I have about you. Here's your memory. They'll even let you go in and highlight stuff and delete it if you want. You're like, oh, I don't like that you know that about me, right? We have zero guarantee that that deletion we just made is actually being used under the hood. We can't see the code. And so we don't know what memory is actually being fed in. So in this model of closed AI systems, the threat for subconscious censorship is very strong. So now let's contrast that with open. Open AI systems, not to be confused with a certain company, can have the same functionality, but with the benefit of inspection. So we are able to see all of the inputs, we're able to see the weights and biases, we're able to see the memory that is being used. So we can verify because we can see the code that is running on the system. So in this model, sunlight is a great disinfectant. You right now could download an open source AI app, run it on your device, whether it's on your phone or your laptop. You could turn off the internet and you could be completely secluded. It's the most private AI experience you can have. You can inspect everything. At Maple, we know that there are billions of people who do not have the means to get hardware powerful enough to run top-level AI. And so we've built an easy-to-use, powerful AI that runs in the cloud, but also has strong data privacy. And we do that by building in the open. First is open source. All of our code can be inspected, can be reviewed, and we use open source models. We use encryption. Your data is encrypted on your device before it goes into the cloud. And lastly, we use secure enclaves. These are servers that have hardware-level encryption, and they give you mathematical proof that the open source code matches the code running on the servers. Now, with this level of visibility, we allow Maple users to validate and verify the entire tool chain and know how their data is being handled. Our society is built on core freedoms. And these are freedoms that were won. They weren't simply just granted to us. So we have to continue to work to keep those freedoms. And many of the people here are doing just that. They're building freedom technologies that empower individual liberty. So as you start incorporating AI into your life, into your work, into things that you do, I encourage you to think open. Your freedom of thought may just depend on it. Thank you.